beautiful family, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sonia, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for always watching and tuning in. If you're a new subscriber, welcome to the family. In this family, we talk about everything real estate and finances. So I hope you guys have been staying out there safe, warm and hydrated. This is the summer, okay? So make sure you're outside there enjoying but staying hydrated and staying safe. So in today's video, we will be talking about home inspection in details. And what is it about home inspection, right? A lot of us have heard of home inspection. I mean, I've talked about it a couple of times in my previous video. So what is really this home inspection that we keep talking about, right? And why should you actually get one for yourself? Why is it important to do a home inspection? So what is home inspection? Home inspection is a very thorough evaluation of the condition and functionalities of a property, mostly residential properties, right? You can still do home inspection on other properties, but most of the time these are residential properties. So these inspections are done by certified inspectors who actually have training in identifying what issues are wrong with the house and what could be objectives of assessment they could give you at the end of doing this inspection, giving you an overall report of the condition of the house. So basically they just want to make sure that whatever you want to do, or if you're about to buy that house, this house should be in a safe condition, right? All the functionalities or most of the functionalities of the house should still be intact as you purchase this property. So during a home inspection, the inspector actually examines various components of the house, right? The various systems in that house. This could include like structural elements. It could include the roofing, the plumbing, the electrical system. It could have the heating, the cooling system, so many other things inside. Insulation, right? So all these things are mostly inspected by that certified inspector. And the reason why they do this, like I said, is to make sure the house is safe, the house is still in good condition, and it can function well. Also, what they do is they make sure both the interior and the exterior of the property is well checked, right? So they make sure as they go around doing the inspections, both the interior and the exterior are actually inspected. And in this could equally include stuff like your foundation, your roof, your doors, the windows, the floor, the ceiling, and other appliances that are in the house, right? You never know what they could find, especially like in areas where it's winter. Of course, they want to make sure that it is very insulated. Your windows, your floors, your doors, or your walls, right? You have good insulation inside. During the winter, you don't have to go through extreme cold, right? So all these things are being inspected to make sure everything is safe, like I said. So that's actually the purpose, right? So the purpose of this inspection is to provide both the homeowner and the seller. But since we are talking about buyers currently, so it actually provides the buyers with detailed understanding of the property. So these buyers are actually given a report after the inspection. They will send you a whole list of things they actually did inspect, and they will give you this overall report. If they found any existing issues, they're going to report it in there. If there are any safety issues, you're going to find it in that report, right? If you have any other potential future conditions, all these things are going to be found in this overall report that are going to actually give it to you. And most of the time, you as a potential buyer, you actually are there for the home inspection. So you actually come in there with the inspector and your agent. So whenever they are doing these different inspection in the different areas of the house, you are actually there to actually see what they are doing. And I'm sure you have the opportunity to actually ask your questions. So anytime you actually want to go out there to buy a house, make sure that you have this opportunity to go out there to actually see what they're doing, right? They shouldn't tell you, we did this inspection on this thing and wish they didn't do it. That's why you have opportunities to actually be there, because you schedule the inspection. And when you schedule the inspection with the inspector, of course, that means you're making sure that the schedule coincide with yours. You don't have any excuse that, oh, I can't be there, because of course somebody has to be there. There's the buyer's agent has to get to open the door for the person to go in and actually go there and walk through to do this inspection. So you equally have the opportunity to be there to actually see what they're doing. They mostly come with maybe a binder or a folder or whatever they are actually going to inspect and outline it to you. So you can read it through and can ask them questions there and then. And maybe they can actually explain some of those things to you. And whenever that's done, of course, like I said, they'll send you a report, right? And why should they send you this report? This report typically indicates or describe any findings they saw in the house, right? It actually gives you recommendations of what you could do, any repairs or any improvements in the house. And it equally gives you an estimate of the remaining life expectancy of major systems in the house. Of course, everything that we use has a life expectancy. I mean, even humans do have a life expectancy, right? So all these appliances, all the systems that we have in the house, actually have a life expectancy. So the recommendation they can give you for these different systems is just how much you've used them, right? So might be before you actually going to purchase a house, the house has been in place for a couple of years. Some of the houses are in the 1900s, so of course maybe the current owner did change some of the things in the house, or they did not change the things at all, or the things that are in the house or the systems in place have been there since the building of that house. Or might be, like I said, the seller had changed the system of this house once in a while, right? While they were using the house. So they will give you the recommendation of the life expectancies. How long can you actually use these things? How long these different systems in the house could function without you actually changing them? Of course, one day you can use maybe the water system for forever. The heater, right? You actually have to change it at one point if you have to stay in that house for the longest, maybe your lifetime. You maybe have to change the roof. You might be have to change take a look at the electrical system or something, maybe the structure, maybe just fix one or two things. So they actually tell you what is your life expectancy as well. So those are some of the things that they will give you as recommendation in the report they will send to you. Equally, like I said, it's important to buyers and sellers, but it helps buyers for them to make informed decisions, right? We've talked about this somewhere, to make informed decisions or about the purchase of the house, right? So whenever this report comes, it gives you all these other things that they found, what you have to repair, what needs to be improved in the house. So you have that report right in front of you, and you can now call the seller up, telling the seller, hey, this is what was found from the inspection we just did. So you actually now have the power, because of course you're as you're going to tell the seller, I want this repaired, I need this improved, or all those type of things. You have a report to actually prove what you're talking about, right? So you actually have informed decision to make, which I'll be talking about a lot of it in my next video on why should you never skip a home inspection, or what are the importance of a home inspection in my next video. So it gives you the ability to be able to negotiate for this repair, because of course you know what is wrong with the house, you know what is needed to be repaired, you know the ones that are safety hazards that no matter what they have to fix it for you to actually purchase the house, right? It equally gives you an understanding of what maintenance is required of the property for you to have a house that keeps increasing in um as the market grows, right? You actually have to keep working on it. You have to keep repairing. You have to keep repairing, and you maybe have to do a lot of maintenance. You cannot just buy a house and think you're not going to do any maintenance at all. You will have to, in one way or the other. It could be as simple as your kitchen sink, maybe your driveway, or just looking at different places in the house. Maybe they're having some little issues and you have to fix it. Sometimes maybe even the garage door. So it just depends, right? But if you really think you're going to buy a house and not maintain it at all, and then it's not going to decrease, the value of it is not going to decrease, well, I'll say you're lying about it. So you have to make sure you keep that house and do some home improvements to actually see the value of the house increase, because that's the only way you're going to be able to increase the value of the house, right? And actually make it comfortable for you and your family. So these actually allow you to address some of the listing properties and adjust anything that you can. If they cannot do the repairs, of course you can actually still ask them to reduce the price or adjust the price of all the things they couldn't do the repairs for, or some of the things. Everything is negotiable. So the last thing I want to talk about is make sure you abide to recommendations, right? So there are some things that a normal home inspection is not going to catch. Maybe something like the plumbing, and maybe pest or termite inspection. A normal home inspection is not going to catch that, because of course they're not specialized in maybe doing those. I mean, most of the time when you go into to schedule these inspections, you don't have, I don't think you have the option of having that same person do pest and plumbing. But if they do, oh, that's great for you. If they don't, then they could actually recommend some of the things for you to actually go to a specialist, right? Hire this other specialist, so that you don't have to stay in a house where you don't know what's wrong with the plumbing system of that house. Or maybe there's something wrong with it, but just because he couldn't look into it, since it's not his specialty, and told you, hey, you have to hire somebody that has a specialty in this, and you refuse, and then a few months later you come in and it's a whole mess, or termites as well, or pests. There are other things that you actually want to might be hire a specialist to come and look if you think it's important. I mean, now it's not necessary in every home, but if you feel like you have to do it, why not go ahead and get that done? Okay, so make sure, and something like the sewer line as well. So you could actually have someone come look at your sewer line, right, and inspect all those things. So just make sure that no matter what, don't forget to actually do a home inspection. And if you have any other concerns that you want an inspector to look before you buy this house, then go ahead and actually schedule these inspections, right? So these things are done. It might cost you a little bit from the normal inspection, But is it worth it? Yes, it is worth it, because you don't want to come into a house. Maybe they even told you, hey, this looks like pest has infested it, but we don't know how much of a damage it has caused. And you actually know about, or maybe they actually just said something about it, right? But they can't tell you, like I said, because they are not specialized. And now you didn't even go into actually get a pest inspector, and ended up buying the house. And then a few months later or years later, right, you realize that the house you're living in is so infested that you can't even cope, right? Your family is not safe. All these things are not good. So if you do your due diligence at the beginning, get these inspections done, and then know what is actually the problem, or it's not even a concern at all, that's still okay. Because of course it's not everything that is gonna come out negative on the report, right? Some of the things are still okay, some will come out good, some will come out negative, and some are just gonna be a little bit of improvement or a long time maintenance, or what you're going to do, like the systems I talked about, right? It might take 10 years for you to replace your roof. It might take lesser than that or more than that. So you just know the lifespan of these things. And once you know them, of course, you can equally start planning ahead of time and know that, okay, I don't have to do all these major repairs immediately I get the house. It's something I can wait and do in the next 10 years, in the next 5 years, in the next 15 years, right? So all those things count when you do an inspection. And that's why you need one, right? So please, this video is mostly for educational purposes. Please do your own research. Make sure you do your own research and read, and get these professionals in the different departments, right? Ask them all your questions and then go for it. But make sure you actually don't just go out there blindly. This is just to make you know, or make you aware that of course there are some of these things that you actually get to do before buying the house. But it's left to you to do your due diligence and make proper research, and actually equally go ahead and research what inspector you want to use, right? What company, or what who you want to go into contract with to actually come and do this home inspectors. They have different prices out there. I don't think there's a fixed rate. And some people are way better than others. So you want to do your research and actually find who you want to actually end up going with, right? So if you are here, please don't forget to like my video, share, subscribe, and actually turn on your notification bell, so every time I upload a new video, you will be the first to know. And as usual, I actually have a book, the Home Buyer's Guide. I'm gonna leave a link on the description box, and if you want to read about the buying a home, right, it's just a guide. You can actually request for a copy, and you will get a digital copy from the link below. Thank you, and make sure you stay safe and healthy out there. Until next time, see you.